Okay, so just a little update on how everything went with the Dactyl Manuform. So in the last part, at the end, I was trying to flash the firmware and I had some troubles doing that. I don't know what happened, but during the flashing process, my USB ports on my computer just stopped working. And then that was causing the keyboard to not connect. So I restarted my computer, and then everything seemed to work after that, which was fine. So I flashed the firmware. The flashing is pretty much just as simple as double tapping the reset button on the board, and then that opens up the keyboard as an accessible drive, and then you just drag and drop your firmware files that are generated in your ZMK config here. So this firmware zip has two files on it, one for the left, one for the right, and you just drag and drop it on whichever side you're loading the firmware on. So I was able to load the firmware. I had some problems with the left side not working at all, and then the right side working, but everything was in reversed. The keys were in reversed. So to fix that, let's see, where is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, so to fix that, I had to change the column pins on the right side for the reversed. I had to change them because the pins were I put in the wrong pins I put in the pins in the wrong order. So once I put them in the right order, the right side was working, and then the left side wasn't working at all. No key presses were working, and that was just because I accidentally put the rows on the column pins and the columns on the row pins. So when I changed that, I was able to, it worked perfectly after that. And then my process over the past couple of days has pretty much just been trying to change the key maps to what I'm comfortable with. I'm still getting used to it. I've only been typing on it properly for about 2 days now, so I'm pretty slow. It's got a pretty big learning curve, especially if you haven't tried out any new formats or layouts, like keyboard layouts. And this is your first ergonomic keyboard. It's definitely going to be a big jump to what the standard keyboard is. But yeah, so I pretty much changed all the key maps. I think I'm happy with what I have at the moment. The firmware is pretty easy to set up. I'll leave a link to my GitHub repo where you can just copy and build the configs yourself. Obviously, you might need to change. You'll probably need to change the column and the row pins depending on what GPIO pins you add them to on your set of keyboards. And then obviously, if you're using different sizes, so I built a Dactyl Manuform 4x5. So if you're using something bigger with more columns and rows, then you're going to have to adjust these config files so that it works. So yeah, I'll just show you what the final build looks like. So here's the left side, and here's the right side, like that. There's the IOs on there. If you want to connect it to Bluetooth, oh, that's also one thing I forgot to mention. So you might not need to do this for your specific device, but when I was trying to connect the keyboard through Bluetooth to my computers, I was able to, where is it? Which file? There's one file, I think it's this one here, yep. So I had to add these extra config variables to the keyboard just so that it would work for Bluetooth. So depending on what devices you connect the keyboard to, you might not have to do this. I had to do this because it wouldn't connect to my Linux devices. And I also had troubles connecting it to my phone, so I was able to connect it to my phone the first time, but then when I disconnected and tried to repair, it was saying like incorrect passkey or passphrase or something like that. So I'll just break down what each one of these does. So this line here, I'll zoom in actually. There we go. Yeah, so this line here pretty much just extends the Bluetooth strength. So if your keyboard's far away from your computer and you're having connection issues, probably use this. It's said to improve the Bluetooth range, but it does use more battery life, so beware of that. This line enables some experimental settings in the Bluetooth, and this is like a current fix for if you're having connection issues to Linux devices. So these two options here make it so that you can connect to the Linux devices. So this one here just enables experimental connection, and then this one is like a security one. So if you enable this, it will ask for like a passphrase, or like to verify the passphrase when you connect the Bluetooth device. So these three comments here, config variables here, I had to add. You might not need to add this again, but it just depends on your use case and whatnot. And if you have problems, just try enabling these, and hopefully it fixes those issues that you have. But again, I'll just show you the I/O. Focus. So essentially the left one is considered the master, and then the right is the child. So when you're connecting it through Bluetooth, you need to have both of them on, obviously, but you can also connect it wired. So if you connect it through USB, you can turn off this switch, because that's just a switch to the battery. It doesn't need battery juice to operate. And then if you want the other side to work, obviously you need to switch that on. But yeah, so it can be connected wired, wirelessly. Oh, so I think I didn't address this in the last part, but I also added another layer, and this layer is just a Bluetooth settings layer. So if you want to connect your keyboard to multiple devices, there's some variables in the documentation which lets you select a Bluetooth profile, and then you can switch between devices. So you can be connected to a computer, and then if you want to switch to your laptop or your phone or whatever, you can just press a key and it switches the profile. Also, there's some variables that clear the current Bluetooth profile or all the Bluetooth profiles. And if you have Bluetooth connection issues like I did, then you probably want this adjustment layer just so you can clear the profiles and have pretty much a clean start when you're trying to connect it. And then that way you shouldn't have any issues. Just trying to think, is there anything else I need to address? I don't think so, but last thing I'll say is the weight in my one is it's definitely heavier than a wired build, but it still slides around a lot. I don't have any rubber feet on the bottom, but I would definitely suggest you put some rubber feet just to stop the sliding, as well as I was looking into getting a stainless steel laser cut back plate, and that way it just adds more weight. So there's two options you could do to just add that extra weight, and then it saves it from your keyboard sliding around when you're typing. I think that's it really. Again, I'll leave my config on in the description. I'll also at some point write a blog post pretty much explaining in detail exactly what to do and how to build it. It'll probably be more concise than the Twitch live streams or the parts that I recorded. But in the blog I'll explain step by step what you need to do and how to build a wireless version of the Dactyl Manuform. I'm very happy with the build. I've been typing on it for 2 days, so I'm still getting used to it. I'm very slow. I think the biggest learning curve, or the biggest leap that I need to accomplish, is trying to remember where all the special characters are, because the special characters are moved around and they're hidden under other layers and such. I think it's going to take a while to get used to those, but yeah, I think that's it for the Dactyl Manuform build. I think this is part 5, the final part. Again, if you don't want to watch all the parts, or you don't want to get bored with hours of footage, check the blog post. The blog post will have everything, or hopefully everything, that you need to know. And if anything wasn't covered, it'll be in these videos. So yeah, thank you very much.